What's up, guys? Twintuitive 717 back with the Bossy Beaver in a basket, and we're going to dive right into some messages around the masculine collective. This reading is going to be for a divine feminine who's being nudged by spirit or the universe to move forward. Okay, you are being called to let this go. You could be under a lot of stress, experiencing a lot of loops. You come together with your divine masculine, then you separate, you come together. There could be third-party influences. So it could be the title alone that's resonating with you. I ask that the universe provide clarity to those who will find the reading. Let's go ahead and reveal some things that your masculine needs to work on, and that's why you're being pushed to move forward on the journey. Okay, divine feminine, universe, please reveal aspects of the divine masculine, what's hidden, what the divine feminine cannot see at this time, which is why they're being called to move forward. Okay, so I feel like an important step on the journey, divine feminine, is detachment, and that is actually what's going to help the divine masculine have the higher self activation. Okay, because what often ends up happening is they're flooded with memories of the connection or the journey when you choose to disconnect. Okay, and that comes in the form of memories. It could be dreaming of you in a different time period, constantly dreaming about you, waking up from dreams where they really long for you or they might miss you. Okay, and also dreaming of seeing you when you were a child, and also dreaming of your family members. Okay, so these are the types of signs and maps that are laid out for the divine masculines to see, but an important part of your masculines being able to see this or have this higher self activation is by you detaching. Okay, so there's something that spirit wants you to know. It's like you've done all that you can do at this point. There's no more pouring into or convincing the divine masculine or your divine masculine of the journey. It's something that they more have to experience on their own. Okay, so your lesson in moving forward, or if you are being nudged to let go in some way or do something different, now keep in mind, letting go doesn't mean completely disconnecting from your divine masculine. It is more so of letting go of control or allowing things to unfold naturally, allowing divine timing to take its course. It's that moment on your journey where you say, God, I put it into your hands, or universe, like I leave it up to you at this point. So some of the things you may be focused on, divine feminine, at this time is growing your passions, or just addressing your behaviors, your patterns, your habits, and taking a new approach. Okay, and in the meantime, I feel like, remember, an awakening is part of this higher self activation that many of your masculines will go through. What does your masculine think when they think about the connection with you, divine feminine? What are they thinking when they think about the connection with you? What's coming up for them? Okay, so they may be closed off, guarded, and resistant at this time, which is why many of you are getting that nudge to push forward or move forward. They could be closing you off or could be guarded against you, because again, if you're in that place of trying to convince them, or you can feel the energy so strongly, and I feel like not necessarily in a chaser energy, but it is more of, bumping heads with your divine masculines, because you see the journey in a different light than they do, or they may not have fully had this higher self activation just yet. So that's why you may feel like you keep bumping heads with them, or there's like that soul shock of when, they ghost, or they go silent, or they can at times wake up and just completely just want to turn the other way and pretend that this connection doesn't exist. It does come as a soul shock to the divine feminine. So for those of you who you're at this place, I feel like this is, this is ideally what's coming up for them and where they're at. Higher self-activation is being able to release this closed-off energy and being resistant to the truth. And a lot of the times the masculines find out the truth of the connection when the feminine's nowhere in sight, when you're not around. It's shown to them. I mean, ideally you show up and it feels like a very strong, I want to say like sexual attraction. For the feminines, it's more of like a spiritual feeling of a familiarity of someone else. Like, you know them from somewhere, there is an intense love. But I do feel like for a lot of the masculines, it takes them time to be vulnerable enough, because right now they're closed off, guarded towards this. Your energy may have been coming up very strongly as well. Just kind of feeling head over heels for them and revealing a lot about the connection and maybe aspects of your own spirituality that caused them to get into this space. So there's a lot of releasing and surrendering and purging that I feel like a lot of the masculines have to do in the connection. And I'm hearing on their own before you two maybe take the next steps. Okay, let's find out what your best course of action is right now, Divine Feminine. So we are talking about you moving forward, and really ideally this is what you're dealing with, and I feel like that's why many of you are wanting a change. Okay, so a lot of your masculines could be silent. There was communication, and then it lessened and lessened, and now it feels like, you know, when you have a lot in common with someone and then all of a sudden it feels like you don't have anything in common with them at all. That's what I feel like is happening. Okay, so it's this nudge to just stop trying to convince or chasing, in a sense. It's like, you know, your truth, and if it's, you know, if it's meant to be, it'll work out. Okay, so as you take that step forward, the guard comes down. So what's your best course of action? What are you meant to focus on right now, Divine Feminines? What are you meant to focus on right now as your masculine moves through this silence? Okay, so we have a major arcana here for the Divine Feminines with the High Priestess. Okay, so trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. So I feel like it's a validation that many of you already know what you need to do with the High Priestess here. You can already feel your masculines are closed off, that there's a disconnect in some way, there's something happening. And again, I feel like a strong message here is you can feel that by disconnecting, there's going to be something big that ends up occurring on the journey. So don't be afraid to let go. And then I've been on that place on the journey before where you are afraid to let go because you feel like, you know the truth, but it's the opposite. It's like if you do know the truth, it's easier to let go and to have it be shown to you. And I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen here, is it's going to be shown to you. So High Priestess is all about trusting your intuition at this time. You already have the answers that you seek. And meditation is going to be really important for you right now, which is why you're probably getting that nudge or that push to disconnect, because I feel like many of you have been intertwined in these cycles with your masculine, the coming, the going, for so long that it's maybe like messed with your faith on this journey, your truth on this journey. So I feel like the High Priestess is about moving forward in good faith. Okay, not with animosity or resentment, just moving forward in good faith. Everything happens for a reason. And, you know, don't kick yourself in the butt over time wasted or feel like you've done something wrong. Everything is in divine order at this time. Okay, I feel like your soul needed to hear that, or it'll bring peace in some way. Okay, your next card for your best course of action, Divine Feminine, the Five of Spring. Opposing goals arising from differing opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious people. Okay, that's why I was saying don't beat yourself up or don't kick yourself in the butt over the time wasted. Okay, so you could be at odds with yourself about moving forward because, again, you're stuck, in between a rock and a hard place. Many of you know the truth of who this person is, but at the same time, it's about ideally choosing yourself and to stop being at odds with yourself. That's maybe why meditation is probably important for you at this time. It's to slow down and also to not beat yourself up about decisions made on the journey, about the fact that your masculine is who they are. You've been attracted to them. You've been on this journey with them. It is what it is. It wasn't in your control. Okay, let's find out just guidance from the universe, not necessarily about what you should do or what you shouldn't do. It's just a little heads up or a seed planted here for the Divine Feminines. What's a little nudge from the universe? What do you need to know? So the Two of Pentacles or the Two of Autumn. Okay, so bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, and exceptional talent for multitasking. Okay, so many of you are going to be really busy at this time, or you're going to be kept busy. You know, Pentacles as well. For me, it's you have something coming into your life, Divine Feminine, which is a new opportunity to move in a direction that brings you peace. And that's why you have a choice. The Two is about choices, okay? And I feel like the new opportunity here that's coming in is leaving this behind for a little while and not beating yourself up about it, but actually taking it as lessons under your belt and see how that ends up shifting the energy. Okay, so bring fun into everything you do. Disconnect and do something for yourself. Spoil yourself. Get dolled up. Treat yourself. Take yourself out to eat. Buy a really fancy meal. Even if you just, prefer to be indoors, then do takeout. That's what I like to do. I'll dress up at home and get myself a bottle of wine and then order takeout. Oh, good times. All right, guys, let's see what's coming through from the Divine Masculine's energy in terms of how it is their higher self feels towards the connection, okay? Because we do have higher self activation. So, if many of you find yourself on that path of moving forward, letting go. Sorry, one second, guys. So if many of you feel yourselves moving forward and letting go and you're wondering what's next or what the outcome will be, I'm going to get an outcome card from the Romance Angel between Divine Masculine and Feminine as you both do a bit of this balancing. Okay, the balancing of, again, higher self. Choosing yourself. I feel like many of you moving forward know that it's probably the right thing to do for yourself. It's the right thing to do for your soul. Okay. What's the outcome for Twin Flames moving through the lessons? Okay, so we have calling in your soulmate, and then we do have the separation here. Okay, so time apart is on the horizon from one another. Okay, so I feel like there's no better confirmation than to confirm for you that it is the right thing that you're doing. Separation is needed in order for this to occur for the Divine Masculines, and I'm speaking from personal experience that, it took me physically doing that on my own journey in order, to have that validation from my Divine Masculine. It's like the minute I was like, okay, maybe I'm crazy and this whole thing is one-sided, I'm just going to forget about it. And I feel like that's that point where many of you are at. It's just put it into the universe's hands, and don't beat yourself up about feeling the way that you felt. And it's like the minute I did that, it's like a couple months later, of course, he comes storming into my life revealing all of his truth, and it was like, holy shit. So yeah, don't be afraid to embrace the separation. It's meant to teach you. Go easy on yourselves as well, Divine Feminine. Okay, you've loved, and you've loved wholeheartedly, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, we're not in control of those we love. Love is not like a light switch. You can't turn it on or off. It is what it is. Okay, now after higher self activation, we do have the calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So this is part of, I'm hearing the words amicable. Okay, guys, I keep seeing birds. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. I'm like, what is the synchronicity here? It could be union for a lot of you because they're in pairs and they're just so adorable. But anyways, during their higher self activation, this is part of the memories and the nostalgia. Okay, it's like 1 minute your energy's there, and then when it's completely gone because now you've chosen Divine Feminine, that, hey, wait a second, the cycle is no longer healthy for me. Even if you are wanting to communicate, I cannot. Okay, so your masculine kind of goes through this time alone where they do long for you, they miss you. I can tell you guys that from personal experience. It's like all of a sudden they start receiving all of these activations here about you, longing for you. It's like, okay, wait a second, now I know how you felt, now I know what it is you're talking about. So I feel like that is gonna kind of be the outcome here for many of you who will find this reading. Detachment is key on the journey. Sometimes you have to choose yourself in order for things to shift, or in order for the other person to gain perspective and do the same for themselves. Okay, so that when you guys do reconnect, I feel like there's going to be a lot of validation that, okay, yeah, I'm definitely on this whole weird twin flame journey thing. Okay, guys, so that's what I have for you for this one. You guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one, okay? All right, bye, guys.